Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? It is your boy right here, folks. MMA Reloaded. And folks, it is time for the return of MMA Reloaded Real Talk. Now, Real Talk, folks, is the original. It's the premier platform for MMA Reloaded for me to conduct shows, folks, here with the best of the best, the brightest of the brightest. When we look at MMA Reloaded on the mic, and people always say to me, "Oh, why did you start MMA Reloaded on the mic if you're just going to be interviewing people there too?" And the thing is, on the mic, it's for stand-ups, young stand-ups, young prospects, young contenders that want to get noticed. They come on the mic, folks, and they talk their chest off. They talk whatever on their chest. They talk it off, man. With Real Talk, folks, it's our 50. This is the 53rd episode of MMA Reloaded Real Talk. This is where it all started from. So, folks, without further ado, MMA Reloaded Real Talk 53rd episode. That's 5-3. Yeah, folks. And today I sit with my brother. Yeah, with the pride of Santa Fe, New Mexico, a man who will make his 4th UFC appearance, officially his 5th UFC appearance, July the 10th, UFC 264, the same night that Conor McGregor and Dustin Poirier will go one-on-one for the 3rd time. This man right here will kick off the whole show. He is a brother. He is Jerome, the Renegade Rivera. Now, folks, Jerome, we are just about to do the particulars right now, folks. Get this underway. So let's do the particulars, and I'll be back in a snap of a finger. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, folks. This is MMA Reloaded Real Talk, episode 53, folks. And today, as I just said, it is with Jerome, the Renegade Rivera. You just missed the epic introduction of Jerome. If you are just joining in, folks, just joining us here live on YouTube. So, folks, the time is was fucking great to be an MMA fan right here, yo. You got Bellator 261, folks, main evented by a heavyweight collision featuring UFC veteran Tim Johnson. Yeah, folks, we will just pick up the Bellator card for you. Yeah. Check this out. Yeah, folks, it's a good card. It's not bad, is it? There are some real studs on it. So, Timothy Johnson, folks, against Moldavsky. Against Moldavsky. And so, folks, Valentin Moldavsky versus Tim Johnson. You got a big fight at the women's flyweight division with UFC veteran Liz Carmouche. New to the Bellator stage. Just had a debut recently, folks, at Bellator 256. Yeah, folks, she had a second Bellator appearance. Sorry, at Bellator 256. She's 2-0 right now at Bellator, folks. and she is probably the one of the definitions of timeless. Yeah, so uh, she's 37 years old, folks, right? But she's 15 wins and 7 losses. She's 4 wins with 4-1 in her last 5 fights. So it's a great start back on form for for a fighter like Liz Carmouche. And then she meets Kana Watanabe. And so, folks, if you don't know Kana Watanabe, that is your just click on the Bellator women's flyweight rankings for the full for the whole shebang. So Kana Watanabe, folks, is 10-0, as you may have seen her live on Bellator. So she's 10-0, folks. She meets Liz Carmouche. It's a huge fight, folks. Both women are ranked in that top 10 women's flyweight division at Bellator. So you also got Daniel Weishall, folks, against Keone Diggs. Weishall is a former Bellator championship contender, so he fought Daniel Strauss, and he fought Pitbull Freire for the title. So that is going to be a great fight. I'm always interested to see Daniel Weishall in action, folks. That guy is so dynamic. Trust me, great grappling. His striking is on. He just loves to swing and brawl, folks. You got Miles Jury and Sidney Outlaw, folks. Again, another battle between two lightweight contenders in the Bellator cage, in the Bellator ranks. You got one of the best young prospects here, folks, in the light heavyweight division. A man who's coming right out that Jackson Winklejohn camp. A man who's already made a big impact on us here in the Bellator cage, and that's Christian Edwards. Yeah, folks. He kicks off the main card. Then you got a great fight where we got Jalen Bates back in action, folks. Another prospect. And that prelim card, folks, is filled with prospects, folks. I will be breaking it down as I always do, heading into the event. So that's on the 25th of June, folks. Is Bellator 261, Tim Johnson against Valentin Moldavsky. Now, folks, if we look at Tim Johnson, Valentin Moldavsky, Tim Johnson, folks, is actually ranked number 1 in the Bellator heavyweight division. So this is all to play for him. If he loses this fight, he could possibly lose his rank here, folks. Then you got so he's 15-6, 3-fight win streak. His last fight was defeating Czech Congo, and then before that was Matt Mitrione. Before that was Tyrone Fortune. So it's an impressive resume so far for Tim Johnson. And then he faces number 3, Valentin Moldavsky. Now, Valentin Moldavsky is 10-1. Another very impressive resume in the Bellator heavyweight division. Linton Vassell, Yavi Ayala, and Roy Nelson, folks, on his last 3 fights in the Bellator cage. So when we talk about rankings here, folks, and you know, not just these heavyweight rankings, not just the lightweight, not just welterweight. We talk about rankings in a whole. And folks, you may have seen on Instagram just now, folks, I posted a breakdown of the UFC featherweight rankings, what I think should happen, what I think the right fights are to make next. If you caught that, folks, my theory on the rankings here is that they are so prestigious and that they need to be used to practically their fullest, right? You can't let folks, chill out here. I'll be back in 2 snaps. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, folks. Sorry about that. Personal shit. You know what I'm saying? Family stuff, man. My father. Glad he's okay. So, folks, as I'll say, so when it comes to rankings, yeah, the the whole idea, all right, the whole idea of rankings and the whole reason why they were developed in the first place is to make sure that the right person gets the title opportunity, the guy or fighter who deserves it the most. Okay, the followers are number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Them contenders that follow that number one contender are the ones that have to climb the ladder to earn the shot. You know, the thing is that once a champion beats a number one ranked fighter, normally sometimes you see that fighter still stays number one, and you're thinking to yourself, what the hell is the point of having the rankings if the champion's already beaten the number one contender? How can the guy still stay number one? Why can't the number two guy climb it? And why can't you make a title eliminate? You know, you see some of these fights even in the UFC sometimes in the flyweight division or something like that. You gotta keep giving these fighters opportunities, and if they've earned the opportunity to climb up the rankings, give them higher ranked opponents. The fighters who just go on the mic after the fights and ask for higher ranked opponents is bullshit. Because who says they actually deserve to fight that fighter? Or say if Carlos Condit tomorrow asks for a championship shot, bad example. Condit's a legend. Say if say Mike Perry, or say if who's low ranked at welterweight. So say if Cowboy Alex Rivera or something goes to beat someone like Matt Brown or Condit and goes to on the mic and he goes, yo, give me Colby Covington right now. Give me Kamaru Usman for the belt. Would you give it? No, you wouldn't. Because the thing is that you want fighters have these opportunities on the mic to talk their talk, right? Talk that shit. But at the end of the day, yeah, you can't really, call out champions or call out number one contenders if you don't deserve it. If you're only like a number 3, 4, if you're only like a number 6, 7 ranked contender to start with. The thing is with the rankings here, is they need to be uphill. You need to use them rankings to make your fights. You need to use the rankings to properly match make your division. So the fact that your fighters are jumping on ranks or jumping in the top 5 or jumping in the top 10 because of 1, 2 good performances is wrong. Like guy like comes out your mind after 2 performances in the UFC, he was already ranked top 15. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Well, and then you got other guys at welterweight and middleweight who other guys at welterweight who deserve it just as much as Khamzat Chimaev. And now Khamzat's being matched with guys like Neil Magny. The thing is, folks, is when it comes to rankings, you need to see who's earned their shot and who hasn't. Who deserves to be number one contender? Who deserves to come in the top 50? Promoters need to be smart with that shit. They need to use their divisions and use their rankings to build fights, and they need to use those guys who are unranked but who are making a splash to their full potential. So they need to use them to the point where, cool. Does he deserve a ranked fight? Does he deserve to get into the top 15, or he deserves or she deserves to get in the top 15? No, yeah. And you need to use your division, man. All right. Who am I to talk? Probably, man. I'm no one. I'm just an MMA analyst, upcoming MMA journalist. I've been doing this shit for 12 years. Who am I? I don't know. So that's just my opinion, folks. At the end of the day, the whole thing of a ranking system to me was brilliant when I first heard about it. But when the sort of idea was thrown out, and fighters started jumping rankings, it kind of just went out the fucking window at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? And it's not that the fighter who comes into the top 15 doesn't deserve it, because he does. It's just saying that you know these guys are top 15. If you want to get into that, you got to do more than just talk on the mic or social media. But dang, that's just promoter's prerogative. Yeah, folks. But I had to come on. That had to come off my chest here straight away, man. I'm sorry if I dug a hole through the screen or something. So, folks, if you have seen it on Instagram, folks, you would have seen the breakdown of the UFC featherweight division. You can see that. The thing is, yeah, folks, as we come down to UFC 264, 20 days away, July the 10th. People asked yesterday, last night, folks, and they asked before Chan Sung Jung and Dan Ige, that event, UFC Vegas 29, that who's gonna win? Poirier McGregor, Poirier McGregor, Poirier McGregor. See, they're casual fans, bro. Yeah, because people who say Conor McGregor gonna win, yeah, casual fans. To be fair, yeah, folks, the last fight should have just decided it straight away, man. The class difference was absolutely amazing. Dustin Poirier is probably going to take this third fight. Yeah, folks, 100%. There is no do's or don'ts. But Dustin Poirier, folks, looked great in the last fight. He looks great coming into this one. He looks phenomenal, folks, against Conor McGregor with his wrestling, mixing it up. McGregor tried to reach out with his fancy fancy combinations. Caught Dustin, in that first round. Dustin came out. It's the activity. That's your key. Activity. Dustin Poirier has beaten 6 world champions. All right. And Conor McGregor, all he's done, yeah, is fight like 2 times in the past shit knows, like 4 years, man. Yeah. Look at Conor McGregor's thingy, folks. Look at Conor McGregor's record, all right? We're gonna see it right now, yeah? We're gonna see it right now. You're gonna see the difference, all right, folks? You're gonna see the difference. Check this out. What's this difference, yeah? Check the difference. So Conor McGregor, all right, folks? All right, cool. So Conor McGregor is mixed martial arts record, yeah, folks. So he fought Eddie Alvarez, yeah, folks, for the lightweight title. Beat Eddie. That was the last prime. That was the last we saw prime Conor McGregor. Yeah, because that's what happens when you take 2 years off. You take 2 years off. You come back. You lose your fight with Khabib, a fight which he said, "Oh, I came unprepared. I didn't train for that fight." That's what he said. Why would you not train for? Why would you do that, though? That's the thing. Obviously, he trained. He's just trying shit. You know what I'm saying? He's just trying to big his shit up. And then and then after the Khabib fight, take another 2 years. Yeah, come back after that. Donald Cerrone. What kind of fight follow up is that, bro? Donald Cerrone. Cerrone at that time was on a 4-fight losing streak. Yeah, and folks, it's gonna hit up the particular again. Check this out. All right. Hey, hey, Jerome.
What's up, Arjun? How are you, bro?
How are you, man?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, sorry about the delay, bro. No, it's just some personal stuff I just had to deal with, bro.
Oh,
Yeah.
do I got to set my camera this way or do I go this way?
No, go that way. That way's better. That was better. That was better. That's cool. Shit, we can see the face, man. You see the face.
Nice. Yeah, it's been a while. This is the first interview I've done this
Yeah.
training. Out of whack. I haven't had the setup going in a while. How are you, bro? How's everything been?
I'm doing good, bro. I'm doing good, man. How are you, man?
I'm doing good, bro. Just grinding,
Yeah,
getting ready.
I can see that, bro. Dang. That's how it should be, right? Man. 20 days out. Yeah, I can see you got your hair all done up, bro. You got the fresh cut for to come on the show,
Gotta
man.
gotta look good, feel good,
Yeah, definitely,
finish up right.
definitely, brother, definitely, man. How was your Father's Day, man? Did you see your daughter? And yeah,
Yeah, it was good. I had a good Father's Day. I went to Utah on Wednesday. We just went to get a quick trip and train with my friend Rich Chavez, who's going to be cornering me. So we
nice.
went out to I got some grappling in for a few days, and then I flew back into Albuquerque on Saturday. And yeah, I had a good day with my daughter yesterday. Got some breakfast, played at the park, made some crowns at home. So
Nice,
great day.
nice, bro. I'm happy, man. Happy for you, bro, because you're missing a family right now. It's not long before you have to fly off. Um, but yeah, man. Jerome, boy, it's been a while since we spoke one on one, man. So I just had to catch up on the small details sometimes, bro. Now,
Sure,
boy, how are you feeling, bro, coming into UFC 264? Obviously, man. It's been a real strange ride for you in the UFC, man. 3 fights, and you took two of them short notice, and you went up to featherweight for one of them. Yeah, and you fought a top 15 flyweight in your debut with Tyson now in short notice. You got the champ brother, and you go into up to featherweight. Ode Osborne. Well, what? Mentally, Jerome, man, physically, how are you feeling, bro? Um, we'll start with physically, man, because you look good right now, bro. Yeah, you look shredded as hell. Um, how are you feeling physically, man?
Physically, I feel amazing. I'm the kind of guy that I like to just stay doing stuff all the time. It feels unnatural for me to usually I'll take like a week or two off after a fight where I'll kind of just do nothing. And that's just because I've been grinding so hard, but it's hard for me to just like stay doing nothing for too long. So I took about 2 weeks off after that last fight. And pretty much since then, I've been training my usual training schedule, like 5 days a week. When I'm not in camp, I usually still train like 5 days a week and still get like some 2-a-days and stuff in here and there. I'm just not too intense with it, but I've already been in training camp now for 10 weeks. I've been grinding 10 weeks of training 10 weeks, training 6 times a week, 2 times a day, sometimes up to 4 times a day. So, I mean, physically, I'm dialed in. I feel amazing right now. Now it's pretty much just dialing in mentally, putting on the last finishing touches, and just showing up to the fight now.
That's what goes into painting every great masterpiece, bro. Man, Jerome, mentally, bro. Yeah. All right, cool. It's not. I wouldn't say, all right, cool. Jerome, it's not been the best, right? Because, bro, the thing is, yeah, is your record doesn't really justify the fights. Yeah, to be honest, yeah, bro. Because if you look at the fights, you've only had a proper camp for one of them, and that was Francisco Figueiredo. Apart
Yep.
from that, you didn't really have a proper camp for Ode Osborne because that was 2 weeks later.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have a proper camp even for Tyson on. We did that 3 weeks, bro. So or 3 days. So, but mentally, Jerome, how are you how are you feeling going into this fight? Like your mind going into this one, bro?
Mentally, I'm feeling really good. Like you said, this is my first real camp. I feel like this is the real first UFC fight for me. I'm glad that I have to come back from these circumstances that I'm in right now. That's why I smile when we talk about it and we're like, okay, you fight at 135 and 145 on short weeks notice, or on a really short notice. And then I had that Figueiredo fight. And even for that Figueiredo fight, I didn't want to say much about it like on interviews leading up to that fight, but I got COVID 5 weeks before that fight. So, I couldn't train for a week or two. And then when I came back from the COVID, my lower back was like really messed up when I had COVID. And my second or third exercise that I came back, I was doing some deadlifts and I pulled my back, and my back was injured so bad. I literally couldn't get out of bed for like 3 or 4 days. And I was just thinking in my head, like it was a thought in my head that we might have to pull out because, I'm just like getting COVID 6 weeks out and then hurting our back. Like, everything was kind of pointing towards possibly pulling out for the fight. But I told myself, nothing's going to stop me. I'm going to keep grinding. I'm going to keep working hard. I'm going to get my back healthy. And if it comes to the point where I can't move or I physically can't do it, then we won't do it. But we worked with my team. We got my back all figured out. It still almost ended up turning out to be like I didn't get a full camp for that one also with all that stuff going on. So, it's not the most ideal circumstances going into this next fight after starting off 0-3. But like I said, I feel like I wouldn't have, for sure, I would have loved to have won those 3 fights. But now I got an even better story and a more interesting story. I took 3 fights within a span of 6 months, 2 fights outside of my weight class, 2 fights on a week's notice or less. And, they may not have been the smartest choices, but I've learned from them. I've matured, I've grown. And, it's going to be fun to talk about when I do get that world championship title one day.
Definitely, bro. And I think it's not the fact that, they're not the best experience, because they are. Yeah. But it's not just because, we're boys. It's because, bro, the thing is it's a learning curve. Yeah, Jerome. And for some fighters, bro, they take longer to get their feet inside the octagon, and in front of the biggest promotion. It takes longer for some guys to get settled, but and do you feel like that's why you took these fights the way you did, is because you felt like you weren't settled in the Nam fight and then Figueiredo and Osborne?
Yeah, after that Figueiredo fight, I just had like really bad taste in my mouth. I was so pissed off because I'm like, I know I had every tool in my arsenal to beat that guy. And I just went out and I underperformed. I just didn't fight like myself. I was making mistakes I don't normally make. And then when we got offered the Ode Osborne fight, I was just sitting there licking my chops for 2 weeks, and they called us up and they're like, hey, you want to take this fight on short notice? And, I had like the good devil right here, I had like good angel right here, and I had the devil right here. And it's like, take the fight, just do it. And, I would take the fight again because it was a learning experience for me. Sometimes you got to make those dumb choices. It wasn't a smart choice for sure. We shouldn't have done it, but we learned. And I also saw something that was really awesome, just like how much my coach Josh believes in me. I called him because some people might say, oh, that's bad coaching. Why would anybody let him take that fight? I called Josh up and I told him, I'm like, hey, bro, I know this doesn't make a lot of sense. They want us to fight at 145 on a couple days notice, and we just fought a couple weeks ago. But I told him, I need to do this for me right now. And I said, just believe in me. I truly believe I can go and beat this guy. And if I didn't believe that, then I'm in the wrong sport. And I had a chance of doing something great. If I would have went out there and finished him, people would have been saying it'd have been a whole different story. But I went out, I made a mistake, I learned from it. But I saw just how much my coach does believe in me, and how many others believe in me. And I'm just gonna recover from that loss and just get up, brush myself off and show everybody that I learned from my mistakes and I'm just maturing and getting better every fight. Even though we lost those 3 fights, I've had a blast every single time. You know, the feeling of a win goes away, the feeling of a loss goes away. But the thing is just the experience that you get to go through every time. And I'm very fortunate, very grateful. I'm just getting better and better. And I know I'm not going to quit fighting. I'm just going to keep grinding until that day comes, until I know it's my last day. And I'm just going to enjoy the ride and have fun.
Bro, Jerome, man, we're not talking about your last day until another 20, 30 years.
We got a long to go.
Even then, bro, fucking, you'll still be right here, man. But bro, the thing is coming into this fight, you fought killers, yeah, bro. They weren't, some bombing pull off the street. They were real killers, yeah, bro. And for that, bro, no one can say they can't respect what you did, yeah, what you do. And even the figure 8 fight, bro, you won the damn fight. Come on, man. Any ass who actually watches MMA and understands, yeah, would have known that you won the end of round 2 and you won round 3. Yeah. Nobody gonna say you didn't win that shit.
Yeah. Those ones where, like, if you're talking about who won the fight versus who won the war, like, yeah, in the judge's eyes, he might have won the fight, but I feel like I won the war a little bit. I hurt him more than he hurt me. I was trying to push that pace the whole fight. And I just really didn't get into a good groove until that 3rd round. And unfortunately, it was a little bit too late. But that's just another learning lesson. Just got to start off a little faster next time. Got to take those risks a little bit sooner.
That's it.
And yeah, just find something to learn from every single fight, whether it's a win or a loss.
And, coming into, you've been mixing up your training, bro, for this one as well. Like you were mentioning earlier, you went to Utah, to do some training sessions, bro. And were you still training with Josh at the time as well, bro, during this camp, or did you spend the whole camp in Utah so far for this one?
So yeah, Josh has still been overseeing everything. Me and him kind of came up with a schedule like at the beginning of training camp, and he's just like, okay, this is where we're gonna be Monday to Saturday. This is what the plan looks like. And we just call each other and touch base every single day and just kind of see how the body's feeling and make sure everything's going according to plan. But yeah, we kind of started off training camp. So it was kind of like a pre-training camp back in April. We were out in Utah for a few weeks, and we went and got some training in. We would record every single one of my practices and we'd send it to Josh. But yeah, this camp, what was really great about this camp was the off season. While I was out there in Utah, I got to go and get some new looks, wrestle with some new guys, do jiu-jitsu with some new guys. And I was really just learning a lot doing jiu-jitsu. Also in the off season, I started working with another striking coach. I still work with Coach Ray Yee. I still work with Coach Josh. But I also started working with Coach Alex over at Jackson Wink.
Oh, dang.
Hit pads together a few times a week. And that dude is just a wizard. He's added a bunch of tools to the arsenal. So, I'm just trying to sharpen up everywhere, try to sharpen up the striking, the wrestling, the grappling. And I feel like I learned a lot in the off season. I feel like I've still been learning during the training camp. Also, the reason we go out to Utah is we have a really good friend out there, Rich Chavez. He's a 3rd degree black belt, but also this dude is just on like a whole other level mentally. He is really intense. He has some really great philosophies for training, and he really helps me kind of get dialed in. So he's almost like my jiu-jitsu coach / like my mental coach. And yeah, that dude is super intense. He gets us dialed in, gets us nice and ready. So that's also what I've been doing out there in Utah, is working with him.
No, man, that's sick, dear, to be honest, because you get those different that different look, you get the different atmosphere, the different environment than what you're used to, and Jackson Wink and going down into Utah, training with Rich, and bro, is that Jerome? How do you think that's really helped you, and what lessons have you learned from training like this, bro? Like in a new atmosphere, new environment.
One of the biggest things, like at the beginning of camp, that's like one thing we tried to emphasize. We're like, how can we get uncomfortable? What can we do out of our comfort zone or do stuff that we're not used to? So, after whenever we figured that out, we're like, okay, let's go off to Utah for a couple weeks, get you away from the family and get you missing your family. So, that's kind of how the precursor to training camp started, was going and getting uncomfortable. And we were doing this as far as like physically, I went somewhere to go get uncomfortable. Then we're like, okay, let's go to Jackson Wink. There's a lot of gym politics, and it's not a big secret that Latrell Yee and Jackson Wink aren't best friends. Yeah. But, I don't carry anything like that with me, and I'm super respectful to everybody I talk to, and I communicate with everybody, and they were all cool about me doing that. And, that's another thing, getting out of my comfort zone, going to a gym where, like I knew that my team isn't always the most welcome. But like I said, I just go and shake everybody's hand, say hi to all the coaches, and everybody's been really accepting with it. So going down there a couple of times a week, that was about getting out of my comfort zone. And just like little things like my buddy Rich that I told you about, like one of the first things when we started off camp, he's like, I want to ask you something. He's like, what's your credit score look like? He's like, I want to get deep. He's like, go far past the surface, past this fighting stuff. He's like, let's try and find some stuff that really kind of like gets to you. And for some reason, he must have known that's kind of like something that's been an issue of mine for a long time. And like little things like that. He's been like, let's find things you don't like doing. You don't like keeping up with your credit. All right, let's work on that credit score. Let's start doing these little things, One thing he told me is how you do anything is how you do everything, right? So I've really been making sure this camp to everything I do it my 100%, whether it's washing my car or making my bed or doing my dishes, I'm giving 100% attention to detail in everything that I'm doing. And that's really just been a big confidence booster for me. I just feel like I'm walking around a lot taller, a lot happier, feeling good.
So if you feel good, man, you're going to fight good, Yes, and bro, that's the thing, man. Jerome, is one of the biggest things that we talk about nowadays is focus. Yeah. You see a lot of guys come in and rush the process, rush camp, rush that, and rush this. And bro, the thing is, Jerome, is even though you've had 3 fights already, and all short notice. Yeah. The thing is you've sort of grabbed the opportunity. Nobody can say that you've rushed anything. You grabbed the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? On a new training now. Yeah. Now, what people are going to see is come July 10th, they're going to see you full mode. Full beast mode.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like Josh had me and Josh were kind of having a deep talk after a long practice during this camp. And he's like, he's just trying to get deep on me a little bit, see where my head is at. Yeah. And what happens if you lose this fight? What are you going to do? Are you going to quit fighting? And that really kind of like resonated with me. Like that kind of sat on my mind for like a couple of days. And all I was thinking about was like, when I first started this 10 years ago, nobody ever told me if you start and you work your ass off, you're going to get to the UFC. Everybody pretty much told me the opposite. They said, hey, that's stupid. What are you doing? You're wasting your time. Go get a job, go to college, do all this other stuff. I stopped going to high school for this stuff. When I was supposed to be at school Monday to Friday, going and studying, I was at the gym Monday to Friday doing cardio, kickboxing, or strength and conditioning, stuff like that. So I knew that this was what I wanted from a young age. And I knew that I was going to do this whether I ever got to the UFC or not. If a year ago, if the Contender Series opportunity would have never came up, I would still be doing this right now. I'd still be grinding. I'd still be chipping away. I'd still be working hard. So no matter what happens, I'll know when that time is, and that time is far from now. Oh, yeah. And I'm just working my ass off. I would be doing this no matter what. I'm a martial artist. I'm a warrior. And I don't see myself losing July 10th. I've been working my ass off.
I don't see you fucking losing July 10th, Jerome, man. Fucking the Santa Fe, New Mexico doesn't see you losing July 10th, bro. Yeah, no one sees you losing this one, man. The thing is here, Jerome, is, bro, technique-wise, yeah, and if you revisit those 3 fights, yeah, especially the Figueiredo fight where they saw, and bro, whoever watches your Contender Series bout with Luis Rodriguez knows how good your wrestling actually is, how good your jiu-jitsu actually can be. Yeah, so in those 3 fights, we never really got to see how good you are all around. Yeah,
not even doing that I'm going and just like getting caught up fighting everybody else's fight. Like I got to go set myself up for what I'm best at.
That's it, man. So do you feel coming into this one that patience is key? Do you feel
Yeah.
that you're coming in and you're gonna just come out and this guy, comes from that European type background. Of course, the wrestling is probably gonna be if he gets desperate and you start out striking, are you gonna expect something like a wrestling heavy attack later in the fight if you start if you get comfortable on the feet and you make him uncomfortable?
Yeah, if you watch him, like his style, he loves to take the center of the octagon. He kind of runs at people right away. But I mean, if you just kind of put it together, matching myself up against him, he's 5'4". I'm 5'11", pretty much. I have 7 inches of reach on this guy. He's not going to be able to strike with me for very long, or he's not going to want to strike with me for very long. The shots are going to come. He's going to want to start trying to take me down. But the thing is I believe that I'm a better wrestler than this guy. He can try and take me down all he wants. He can get himself tired. We've been working hard. We've been going to Utah for a reason. I got a guy out there. His name is Cole Jensen. Shout out to Cole and Josh. Cole Jensen, 5'4". It's so funny. He's like, doesn't look like Jalgas. He's a Utah boy, but 5'4", super muscular, weighed about 140. The guy was just like a exact spitting image body type wise of Jalgas. It is a Division II college wrestler, 2-state champ, folk style national champ. And I'm doing well with these guys. We've been working hard. That's why I'm working with guys like that and getting out of my comfort zone is so I can beat this guy where he thinks he can beat me. And that's wrestling. So, I look forward to that challenge.
That's what wrestling sorted, man. Yeah, and of course, bro, of course, he's gonna try. Yeah, he's not gonna say, "Oh, Jerome, bro, I'm just gonna stand with you, yeah," because you're gonna piece his ass up, But it's them types of things, Jerome, that in a fight, bro, would you agree that, these types of fighters like grinders try to make it difficult for fighters like you? Yeah, like we saw it with Mom Vittori and Israel Adesanya. You tried to make it difficult for him. We see it with Korean Zombie and Dan Ige. You try to make it difficult for him. Is that do you agree that that's what these types of shorter fighters do to guys with the reach advantage, is to try and make it difficult for them and think that they can't fight in the pocket or they need space? Or do you think that's the case, bro, coming in?
Yeah, I think he's really going to try and push a pace on me. He's really going to be kind of in my face, trying to make me work the whole time. He throws a lot of body shots. So I think he's going to be trying to throw body shots to kind of set up his shot, to set up overhands over the top. And he probably looks back on my fights and says, okay, well, this guy got caught by Tyson Nam with an overhand. This guy got caught by O'Day. So he probably is maybe questioning my chin. So yeah, who knows, he may have like striking in his game plan. He may think, okay, I'm going to go and kickbox with this dude. Maybe I'm going to land one of those hooks over the top. But I just know from experience, me going against guys that size, he is going to have a long night and he's not going to want to strike with me for very long.
Nah. He ain't going to strike, bro.
I mean, that's
he ain't going to fucking strike, man. But when you took them short notice fights, yeah, and when you sort of said to yourself, all right, cool, I'm gonna accept this and I'm gonna accept that, he's cool, so I'm gonna do this. Was it just pure adrenaline, bro, that went through your mind? Because you said about the O'Day fight that that really left a bad taste in your mouth, man. And you wanted to come back and Tyson Nam, that was 2 weeks. Yeah. Well, no, actually, that was less than 24 hours. Yeah, boy. But what was your thought process mentally when you accepted those fights short notice the way you did?
Yeah, when I accepted those, the Tyson Nam fight, like I kind of had an idea that maybe we were going to get a short notice call after that Contender Series fight. So I still stayed pretty ready. taking that fight, I always said, I wouldn't really take too many short notice fights unless I really have to. One of the reasons being to get into the UFC. So yeah, like kind of in hindsight, I said I wasn't really going to take short notice fights after that unless we really had to, or unless it really made sense. That O'Day Osborne fight, I'm not gonna lie, we shouldn't have taken it. We probably shouldn't. Who would have taken it? Who would take that fight? You just fought on in Abu Dhabi. It takes a couple of days to travel. You come get back. I was 155 after that fight. I'd gotten up pretty heavy, and they called me up there. And we're 0-2 in the UFC at this point, right? And then they're offering us a fight on 2 or 3 days notice. Who's gonna take that fight? You're 0-2. It's like, nah, we need to wait and get a full count. But I'm one of the crazy dudes that I believe in myself, and I'm a warrior. And the boss called me up and he asked if I could fight. My body was good and I believe in myself. And I believed I could be O'Day Osborne. And, I went out, I made a mistake super early in that fight, and I paid for it. So, you live and you learn. Now I know no short notice fights, it doesn't make sense. You got to make sure you're ready for this. This is a big deal. And so we've learned our lesson, and going forward, we know what to do now.
Let's just say the short notice thing is done now for you, man, in the UFC at least, because your feet are in the UFC, your body is right, you're used to the environment, you're used to the cage. Now it's time to go do work now and show these flyweights what's up, for real, and set up bigger fights for you after this, man. Because this is just of course you're gonna be focused right now, on Zalgas, but definitely this fight is gonna set up big fights. It's gonna sort of get you into that rhythm, at 125. But Jerome, like you say, coming back from Abu Dhabi, you were 155. How the shit, how was it? I'm not gonna ask that, because that's 30 pounds heavier than what you fucking fight, bro. What were you eating, bro? Jeez.
When they called me up to offer me that O'Day Osborne fight, my manager's like, hey bro, can you do me a favor? He's like, what's your weight? Can you check your weight really quick? I'm like, I don't really want to check my weight, because I knew I had been eating bad. It was a tough weight cut going to Abu Dhabi, just because having to be on the flight and like not having all my meals prepped and stuff that I'm used to. And then when we were on the flight, they're like coming and offering us this delicious food. And I'm just like, and then while you're out there quarantined, all there is to do is drink coffee and eat food. And all the food, that's all I was thinking about. So I was almost kind of traumatized from the weight cut a little bit. So when we were coming back, I was like, I'm going to enjoy myself. I'm going to eat good. They called me up that day for the O'Day Osborne fight. I went and got on the scale. I was actually 157. So I had gotten up pretty big. That's why I was like, hey, bro, because they offered me the O'Day Osborne fight at 135. I said, I don't know if I can make 135. He's like, how heavy are you? I'm just like, I'm heavy enough where I can't make 135 comfortably. So if they want to fight me at 145, I'm down to fight at 145. But if not, there's no way. And they called us like 5 minutes later. They're like, okay, we're down for 145. I'm like, all right, let's go do this then. And but yeah, just about the whole short notice thing again. It's just like, why sell yourself short? It's easy to go and fight, right? Fighting is the easy part, but getting through that training camp is what gets you ready for that. And that's why not everybody is a fighter. It's easy to just sign a contract and say, okay, I'll show up on this date and fight. But what's hard is the discipline and the weeks on weeks of grinding and getting your body to this point. So it's like, short notice fights don't make sense. You're selling yourself short. You got to make sure you're prepared, make sure you're dialed in mentally, physically. So,
that's it, really, Joe, man. And it's about, it's up to the fighter at the end of the day. It's up to your mind. It's up to what you're thinking at the end of the day, man. Like, Arjun, are you gonna fight Jerome on 2 days' notice? No, I'm not. I'm 260 pounds, Jerome 125. That's the thing, boys. It's how the fighter fits. It's not anything that people should be knocking you about. It's how you felt. It's how you feel at the time. But and now I'm glad that you're ready. You look good. You're ready for this one. Man. And Utah has obviously done you so well, bro. In terms of training, in terms of getting you where you need to be for this one, man. And I'm proud of you, bro. And hope you go down and do this work.
Yes, sir. Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. We've been working hard. There's been a lot of great minds going into this, a lot of great people. These training camps just really make me realize like how kind people can be. There's so many people here in town that are always just like rooting me on a little bit. Like they see I'm having a tough day and they're like, hey, you can do it, bro. We see you working hard. We're proud of you. And like even just those little things sometimes, like when you're having a tough day and you're a little bit calorie deprived and you're a little tired and you're a little sore and you still got another sessions to go, and somebody just says, hey, good job, we see you working hard, and that's just so cool. And like kids will tell me that at the gym when I'm doing, because I teach the kids classes and such, and I have people that are like I had my great friend Angelo Sanchez took over teaching the kids classes for me in these upcoming weeks, and all my clients, all my friends, all my family, everybody's just so supportive. And my fiance, I'm so proud of that girl. She just puts up with so much, like me just up and leaving randomly to Utah, and me just everything that I do, she just supports me 100%. She's always got my back. And yeah, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now if it wasn't for her. So thankful for my life.
100%. 100%. Well, your family and your friends, man, that's where it is, and you hit the nail on the head right there, man. That's what it's all about. It's all about that encouragement. When you're having a tough camp or when you're in training camp, it's all about that encouragement, Jerome, man. But I wish you all the best going into July 10th. But we need to have these chats more often, man.
Yeah.
God damn. Damn, boy, you got me feeling very emotional and that. But yeah, but I wish you all the best, Jerome, man. I wish you all the best of luck. I know you've been putting in the work, brother, and I'll be watching it,
Sir, I'll chat again soon, maybe after the fight, do some fight predictions or something, do some fight night picks.
Definitely, man. Definitely, brother. You got it, man. You got it, Jerome. Anytime, man.
Alrighty. Thank you, bro. Nice chatting with you.
Now, you too, brother. Anytime, brother. I've always got time for you, man.
Yes, sir. All right. You have a good one. Nice talking to you. I'll look out for you. You're commentating again when in August, right?
Yeah, August the 21st. I'm commentating. Yeah, man.
Hey, so there's gonna be a full crowd this time or no?
So I'm still so I'll be there in front of the full crowd. Yeah, bro. So it'll be good. Yeah, man.
Awesome, bro. I'm happy for you guys. I'm happy that you're in that area, in that region, that you guys are having a full crowd and getting fights going. That's awesome.
Thank you, Jerome, man. Thank you so much, bro. But I wish you all the best of luck, man. Thank you so much, brother.
All right. Thanks, brother. Have a good day.
You too, man.